Hi, and welcome to City Talk, where, among other things, we profile city employees and say hello to today's guest, Darlene Watson. Darlene, welcome to the program.
Thank you, thank you.
So give us your title. Tell us about what you do for the city.
Well, I am a receptionist administrative assistant, and I work for the mayor's office on the 5th floor. And I'm the first person that people see when they come.
So you're the face of the city for a lot of people who come down to City Hall and want information about what's going on.
Well, I guess you could say that.
I
Yes.
just did.
All right, I accept that. Yes, I am the face of the city.
And so they must have chosen you carefully. I'm not kidding, because at any enterprise, public or private, the person at the front desk can make a big difference as to everybody's first impressions.
Yes, I believe that. Yeah, I've always been service oriented, so I like meeting new people and greeting people, so it's a nice deal. So I was kind of looking for, something on this line, so it kind of was a good fit, and here I am 2 years later. I'll be here 2 years in September 6th.
Congratulations. So were you in the service industry prior to this?
Well, it wasn't this kind of service, but I did community service before. I was like a case manager. So at Hosanna House in Wilkinsburg, we had, caseloads of people that we encouraged to get jobs and, get their GED, and those kind of things. So I was used to different kind of personalities walking in, and so, and then before that I worked at a group home. It was a Braxis adolescent center for females, so they were younger girls, and so they were in placement, but you had to deal with different situations and be ready. So I was the receptionist there for about 10 years.
So you've had all sorts of experience dealing with all sorts of different kinds of humans, I'm guessing.
Yes.
You're perfect for this job.
Well,
how did they find you?
Well, you know what? I was looking and they were looking, and it just kind of worked out, and job searching, I was always looking for a service-oriented type of thing, customer service, even if it was phones or in person, it didn't matter. So this kind of was available, and it just kind of worked for us, yeah.
Awesome. So you work, among others, with the mayor and his chief of staff, and I imagine some people just want to come in and see the mayor, like just sort of think they can just walk in, and which in an ideal world, everybody could just walk in, but
and
unfortunately people get busy.
Yep, there's people that do. They walk in and they think it's real simple, but I try to give them the information so they can make a choice as to how they want to do it. But we offer community affairs first, because that's the go-to department. When people walk in and need help, they usually can direct them, and so people are pretty good about speaking with them. But sometimes you get people that just want the mayor, so there's a protocol.
And they just think he can solve their problems, and boom, where is he?
But there's things in place to solve issues, so that's nice. So
do you have to calm some people down occasionally who sort of impatient with their goals, if you will?
You know what? I allow them their space, but I still try to keep my tone pretty much the same, because sometimes when people are upset, they're in a place. So you just kind of like treat them like they were talking normal, give them their options, and let them decide, And so that usually works. When you give them, here's your 3 options that you have, which one do you want?
What are those options?
Well, you can write in directly if you have an issue. You can come into a council meeting if you want to voice an opinion, or you can write in to your council person if you like, or community affairs could be available for you.
Can they try to get an appointment with the mayor even though it may be weeks away?
Well, there's a process for that. There's an email you send, because hundreds of people may want to do that. And then depending on the nature, which is required when you're sending an email, they will refer you to the departments that handle things, because there's people that handle stuff. The mayor does, the mayoring of the city, and then he has all these departments that can be of help to people. So
you often refer people to the proper department that may actually be better for them than to see the mayor.
And even if they were to send an email, they would still be referred. But I try to refer them, so that, the scheduler doesn't have to. But if they really want, to meet with the mayor, they'll go ahead and send the email, and then they'll be redirected to the appropriate department.
I see River, the official dog of the city, is often wandering around the mayor's office.
Yeah.
But if there was a dangerous situation, he wouldn't be of any help, right? Because he's just a friendly dog. He's not a
Well, you know what? He
dog.
is a service dog, and so he's made to be friendly. At the same time, I'm sure he has some instincts that would assist, because he would probably have to protect his, the person that he's servicing.
Oh, right.
So we don't see that, but I'm sure.
But don't test him.
Yeah, I'm sure that he would surprise us, but for the most part, he's just gentle, and it's a nice calming thing when you're busy and when there's stuff going on, and he wags his tail and walks up to you. You kind of just calm down, and then, everything is good. The problem might not be solved, but, he's nice to have around.
Awesome. Does the mayor have any quirky habits that you can tell us about that won't get you any trouble?
Well,
Or that will get you into trouble,
when
but
you're
will.
in my position, you greet people, and that includes the boss, the mayor, and
Right.
you greet him, you ask him if he's having a good day, and then he's doing things. And so with me being at the front desk, sometimes if there's audience that comes in that's waiting, you get to, interact, but everything's pretty basic for me,
But does he get grumpy? Is he like running around going like, we can't install enough bike lanes fast enough, and just
No, he doesn't
start
even
yelling?
have that personality at all. He's
No?
such a pleasant person to work for, yeah.
I would assume so, because he's never shown that side of himself to me, but I thought maybe you'd have some insights that
Not at the front desk. He's a nice, easygoing gentleman, and
What about the rest
enjoy
of
it.
those crazy people? Guy Costa, Dan
They're
Gilman,
nice
the chief
too.
of staff.
Everybody,
Are they?
yeah, everybody's got their personalities. They're very calm and nice, and they do their job. They work hard. They're dedicated. And so from my perspective, it's a good team.
But you're sort of the center of gravity, because everybody interacts with you on a daily basis.
Yeah, I guess you could say that for moments. There's moments throughout the day. There's always the front desk huddle, and everywhere I've ever worked where there was a front desk, there's, it's just kind of like a huddling ground. Sometimes there's quick meetings, and you're not really paying attention, but they get to maybe have a meeting that they've been trying to schedule while they're waiting to go into another one. So it makes it nice.
Interesting. Would you like to continue on this job for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. And like I said, I'm service oriented. Every day is different in terms of people, and
Any unusual requests come to mind as you're trying to serve people?
Nothing unusual, because everything's, depending on your perspective, is normal. So it's not unusual. I've had some repeat kind of things, but in the minds of the person asking, they are relevant.
It's clear to me all these crazy people are coming in and you're treating them like a king or a queen, and that you settle everything down as a result.
That's part of customer service. I mean, that's the other thing. I was always customer service oriented. So the customer is always right. I can remember an old business school teacher of mine, she would say, no matter what, the customer's always right. And so that stuck with me for a long time. So if you talk to everybody the same and greet them the same, no matter what they're coming in with, or what they look like they're coming in with, it gives you favor, because you can kind of at least get them where they need to be. So that's important.
You also have an awesome, soothing receptionist voice, I noticed. That must have been a plus in being hired.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Is that something that's just evolved over time, or are you conscious of that?
I have been told that I do, and so I'm more conscious of it now.
Since people are saying that,
in this position, So it was just kind of regular for me.
Well, awesome. Darlene Watson, thank you so much for joining us today on CityTalk. It was great talking to you.
It was great being here. Thank you so much.
And keep on making the crazy people feel normal.
Thank you.
I'm John McIntire. We'll see you next time on CityTalk.